episode of your favorite podcast, lovealadijonnaise. Thank you so much, guys, for being here once again in another week and for giving us the opportunity of being once again here in your phones, in your car, whatever you want to hear us, and whatever you're listening to us. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and welcome to my beautiful girlfriend who's next to me.
Hello, guys, welcome back on this beautiful weekend. I hope you all are doing fine. We're here with a very interesting topic, but first of all, how are you, my love, today?
I'm happy. Thank you so much. Kinda tired. Today has been kinda a rough day at work. Been having a lot of calls, meetings, and stuff, and actually I can feel my voice a bit raspy, but it's fine. Doesn't matter. Just one more meeting and I'm done.
In the night, you have your tea and you'll be fine.
I'm gonna be perfect.
Yes.
And well, before starting, more or less, I was taking into account because, guys, as usual, and I think like actually it was only first season and second season, the one that we shot being apart from each other.
Yes.
We are recording this together, but more or less by the time that you guys are hearing this, it's already near fall. So,
You definitely
yeah,
will.
we hope that you and also us we're enjoying from a very cozy weather.
I see fall. It's just
Yeah.
when it starts getting cozy.
Yeah, so if you're enjoying this episode with a hot chocolate or a coffee, be our guests.
Yes.
And well, today, guys, we wanted to talk about a topic that is actually a common topic that we are like discussing between each other here in the relationship, and which is like how perfectionism sometimes fails us.
Yeah, it's a real. I'm not gonna call it struggle in our relationship. It's more
Yeah.
for me, like me personally.
It's like a personal struggle.
Personal struggle I have, but I feel like it's very important to talk about it because it can fail you, and I have felt it. And we want to give you some advices and how it worked with us
Yeah.
from like both sides.
Also, yeah, and exactly that's what I want to transmit today. Because on one side, perfectionism is something that is okay, and it demands from a person a better effort and always trying to be a better person and doing stuff better. But on the other side, I mean, you're gonna start realizing as we are going through the talk. Being super perfectionist can bring you also problems, more psychological and emotional. But at the same time, not being perfectionist at all can bring you other problems. So it's basically a balance. You're gonna realize about it, but because of that, we're gonna talk about it. And what a better example than from a couple that on one side one is perfectionist, and on the other side the other one is a very easygoing person.
Yes.
So yeah, let's begin with this. And first of all, we're gonna start with the example of the perfectionist in the
perfectionist.
relationship.
Also, just to point out, we're still. I think as a couple, we found our balance.
Yeah.
With that, because we gave each other some advices, which we are gonna talk about at the end. But me as a person, I'm still trying to find my balance, and I'm still, working on that. So I hope this episode can help myself and some of you.
Yeah, and also that it's, I mean, yeah, maybe it's a personal struggle you have, but since it's a relationship, it also involves me trying to help you, trying to at least give you a bit of guidance from my point of view or my experience or my personal philosophy that I have and that I have been taught since I was a child. So it's also like a way that I also can help you. I've been doing it for the past 4 years and a bit more.
And I appreciate
Yeah.
it. My boyfriend has a lot of philosophy in his life.
Philosophy.
Anyways, well, let's start it with the perfectionist side, or like the perfectionist in the relationship. It's good, as Felipe mentioned, it can bring you like discipline, and it can drive you to do things better, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do my best, and at the end, of course, if you succeed, obviously you're proud of yourself, and that's the best feeling because you pushed yourself, you're disciplined, organized, and it's amazing, the best feeling. But the problem comes when you start realizing that, not as, I know it's cliche, but you say, when people say like the world is not perfect, and it's not, and you start realizing that things sometimes don't work out as you plan them, or they go into other direction, or they might not work out at all, and then you're like, but why does it happen? And you're like, how could it happen? And then you start questioning yourself, like, where on this journey did I fail, and why did I fail? And you start looking like for mistakes and mistakes. But sometimes it just happens, and you can control things, and things happen for a reason. And then you start sadly feeling like annoyed, angry, anxious, and you're like, why does nothing work? And that's bad. That's where perfectionist comes like to another level, and you take it to another level, and it can affect you like mentally and emotionally, because you have a feeling you fail yourself, you get depressed, you get, I don't know, all those feelings.
Frustrated
Yeah,
whole time.
frustrated all the time, and you're like, why doesn't it work? Why doesn't it work? And when you're trying to fix things in that moment, obviously they're not gonna work out, because there is a reason they failed. So here is where I'm still learning sometimes that in some situation, in some I got better, in some others I'm like, I still need to work, and I'm like, I want to fix the situation, but I know I can, and I get annoyed, and what I tend to do is like, fine, I get my moments of being annoyed, frustrated, angry, but then it's like, okay, you start being a rational person, and you realize, okay, it didn't work now, there is something I can do later, and you try to, you take 3 breaths and you start all over again. Nothing happens. We can fail. It's okay.
Yeah, and it's also something I remember. I think I've been telling you this already for a couple of years by now. And I mean, one of those things is what you previously mentioned, which is like the world is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone's perfect. And there's also another thing that I've been telling you, which is, I mean, not only to you, also to myself. Sometimes I remind myself that, which is like, yeah, anyone's perfect, and the only, I mean, like, perfection is found in imperfection,
Yes.
which is something very true. Because as I remember, once I read, I think, like, I don't remember if I read it like in a book or like in a blog thing, but I was reading like the only thing that is perfect in the world and it's imperfect, it's nature. Mother Nature is the wisest thing in the world. Why? Because nature can adapt itself
Yes.
to every situation that is going on. And because of that, it's perfect. But at the same time, if you look on tiny details in nature, you're
They're
gonna find
imperfect.
there are imperfections. Like, when was the last time you have seen a couple of trees being perfect?
Never.
Not even leaves are perfect.
No.
Every single leaf has its own flaws, its own problems. It's not complete, it's broken, it's dry, it's everything. Why? Because the world is not perfect. And the only perfection thing is the nature, which is also imperfect, which is like a paradox. In order to be perfect, you need to be imperfect.
Imperfect.
Yeah, so it's something like kind of tricky because as Sam was mentioning, like, it's very important to be perfectionist. Why? Because it's discipline, and if you don't have discipline in your life, you're not gonna be able to to have commitment with anything and accomplish anything in your life. But at the same time, I'm sorry.
It's so Australian.
We were watching, not even Australian. We were watching Harry Potter before this
Also,
episode.
yes, you're having a marathon
We're
right
having a
now.
marathon of Harry Potter. But anyway, at the same time, I think, like, when there are some people that take perfectionism to like a madness level, and
and it has, for them, everything has to be
everything
perfect.
has to be perfect, which is basically impossible.
No.
And they spend their whole life being frustrated, and then they develop chronic depression, they develop those chronic mental diseases and conditions. Why? Because they're never gonna get what they really want, because they want like a magical ideal world, which is something will never exist. And it's very frustrating. I mean, personally, me, I've never experienced that, because I mean, I'm gonna tell you my story. I'm not perfectionist at all. But I've seen on people that is perfectionist how they get frustrated with something, and it's, for example, whenever something happens to Sam that she wants to do something, but the thing doesn't come out in the way she was thinking about. It's something I tell her, don't worry, you did your best, and literally you should be happy because of that.
Yeah, sometimes it might not be my day for anything, and I'm like, it starts, my inner perfectionist starts to come out, and I start getting frustrated and annoyed. But yeah, you always remind me that it's okay. We can fail. Things are not perfect. It's impossible to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I feel like, as you mentioned, those perfectionists that take to like perfectionism to another level, and then they develop like diseases. I feel like before, in the beginning of our relationship, I was very perfectionist. I wanted to have everything perfect, and it's just, also I used to get annoyed and frustrated all the time.
Yeah, way more.
Yeah, but what helped me was like having someone that is not perfect and reminding me it's okay, it's okay, it's okay,
Yeah, not to worry about
Uh-huh.
things that shouldn't matter.
And that's also one of my personal struggle was, and still need to work on it, but I'm trying my best to work on that problem, and I think I throughout the years got better.
No, way better. I mean, I remember like when we first. I mean, not maybe when we first met because we were just friends, and
In school is
in school
different.
it's different.
Uh-huh.
But when we started dating, it was way different. And I know that now you have chill out way more, and that you actually enjoy more things, and you're
Yes.
not that worried about like, oh my god, this didn't work out as I was planning, or this was unplanned and stuff. So what? Like at least we can find other things to do. We can also enjoy from failure, which is something very important as well. I mean,
True.
failure. It's something I always remember. I mean, I'm gonna continue my sentence, but the thing is, like, from failure you can learn a lot of things, which reminds me about a Pixar movie, which is The Family of the Future. And there is this scene. I remember I already told you a couple of times. I'm pretty sure you watch it, but there's this scene where the family is having dinner, and something happened. This girl comes with I think it's like a meatball gun, something like that. It's a cartoon, guys, and the meatball gun doesn't work properly. And the thing is, like, there is this boy which is like basically a genius and stuff, and because apparently he was gonna fix the meatball gun. I think it was a meatball, and he gets annoyed and frustrated because he couldn't fix it,
That's me.
yeah, because he was a perfectionist. And the rest of the family, instead of complaining because he couldn't solve the problem, everyone starts saying like, that's how we fail, good luck and congratulations for your failure. Why? But
Basically
yeah,
encouraging you to
to
fail
fail,
because
why?
you're gonna learn.
Exactly. And there is this guy I remember who from that family says like, from failure we learn, from success we don't really learn
No, not
anything.
really. I mean, you get successful, you do things great, and you're proud of yourself, which is great. But
Yeah,
what did you learn?
nothing at
Maybe
all.
discipline and organization. That's
Which
it.
is, yeah, which is important, but at the end
Uh
you don't
huh.
you don't learn to do better your things.
Exactly. And from failure, you learn a lot of things. And let me tell you, for you who are perfectionists, that it's okay to fail. And as you said, perfectionism is in imperfect. How was it?
Perfection is in imperfection.
Learn that sentence, guys,
Yeah.
and chill out. If you have someone from your family, friends, your couple that is not perfectionist, listen to them, because you're gonna start chilling out more, you're gonna start enjoying life more and enjoying from the world more. You're gonna see that it's okay, and it's way more to be like, it's way more fun being chill, still with your perfectionism on a healthy way, but being chill and enjoying from all the beauty we have in this planet.
It's a very nice way to
Yeah,
say it.
it's
Yeah.
a long process. It's still taking me, but slowly we're getting there.
Slowly. And well, now seeing from the other side of the coin, you have me, which I mean, someone who's very easygoing person. I'm not a perfectionist at all. I like to put an effort on stuff, but if they don't result, fine. I'm not gonna say that I don't feel frustrated. Of course, I'm not gonna always feel frustrated. It's a human thing. Literally,
Mm-hmm.
it's a human reaction to failure. But the thing is, like, I'm so an easygoing person that I enjoy basically everything that I'm doing or I try to do. And if they don't work out the way I was planning, at least I usually enjoy the results. The only problem here that I see about not being at least a bit perfectionist is that sometimes I can tend to think I'm not giving my best. Why? Because I'm so easygoing person and not a perfectionist at all. I always feel I can give more, even
Mm-hmm.
though when I'm giving
100%.
100%. For example, I'm gonna give you this example. And at my work, I mean, like my job is to it's on sales. I mean, I'm on sales,
Mm-hmm.
and I sell stuff. I sell products. I sell services, stuff. And of course, there's some KPIs. I mean, some
KPIs,
yeah
yeah.
KPIs, some indicators that tell me or tell my job at least how am I developing my work. I mean, if I'm succeeding or not, if I have something stuck. And sometimes, whenever I see it's almost the end of the month and I haven't accomplished the number of sales that I'm supposed to, I'm always like, but damn, like, why am I not able? I'm not selling. And you can actually ask Sam. The first thing that I start saying is like, I'm not giving my best. It's like, literally, why am I missing this? I haven't sold this time. And those type of things. Even though when I know that it's some things that don't even laying on me, like
No,
literally, it's
it's
not
not
even my
even
job.
not your job,
Yeah.
not even it's out of some things with your job are out of your hands.
Yeah, it's out of my hands
And let
completely.
me tell you, you always give your 100% in that. But
Yeah.
as you said, as a non-perfectionist, you start feeling that you could give more and more and
Yeah,
more.
or for example, that I'm being lazy, I mean, which not sometimes. When I'm never lazy, in
No.
reality, I'm doing my job, and whenever I finish with my job, I can also enjoy for my hobbies and
Uh-huh.
my free time. But the thing is, like, for example, I can be in the night thinking like, damn, tomorrow I need to do this. How am I supposed to do it? I couldn't finish my work today, and those type of things.
It's psychological.
Yeah, it's all psychological point of view, but the thing is also at the same time, I'm not frustrated that much for things that they don't come up the way I was planning.
Yeah, you don't frustrate yourself, for example, like I sometimes do.
Yeah, and this is like the very important part, guys, because you should have a balance. We encourage you, and even me, I encourage you, which I'm not perfectionist, but even both of us encourage you to be perfectionists, because that it's gonna form you discipline, and it's gonna show you that you're capable enough of doing stuff that you never imagined you could do. But at the same time, you need to have a balance and chill out when you need to chill out to understand that no one is perfect. The whole world is not perfect. Anyone around you is perfect. Neither you are perfect.
Yeah, and once you understand that, you're gonna enjoy from life more. And another encouragement, stop also looking perfectionism in tiny things that don't even matter.
Yeah.
That's I think that's a major problem of the perfectionists that they or we, well, I kind of stopped looking perfectionism in tiny things that don't matter. They don't matter. No one cares. You're the only one who cares.
Yeah, you're the only one. And no one is gonna ever understand. It's like, for example, if you're a perfectionist, something doesn't work out the way you were expecting, and you try to explain people why you're frustrated. Majority of people won't understand you. Why? Because they're not like that. Like
And
you, there's only one person. That is you.
And to them, those things don't really
Yeah,
matter.
they don't really matter. So yeah.
And also, I think throughout the years, we each other, I mean, to each other, we've been like support or encouraging each other how to be better. I mean, me for you, like how for you to be a bit more disciplined, organized, the healthy perfectionism, and you to me telling it's okay, that doesn't matter, chill out, enjoy your life.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, we will name uncomfortable situations that we have lived in these been more than 4 years of being together, but honestly, by now I'm trying to remember one to give us as an example, but I can't because it's been so much from both sides that it's just impossible to remember all of them.
No,
Yeah.
a lot.
The only thing I know is we've been helping, as you said, each other a lot, and definitely we've been getting better.
Yeah, we've been talking about our, well, perfectionism and non-perfectionism with each other. Whenever something comes up, we're like, okay, time to talk. Don't get annoyed.
And also to remind each other what we already know and we have learned throughout these years.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, that was it, guys. We hope that you have enjoyed a lot this episode and this topic. We're pretty sure that out there, each one of you are gonna identify yourself with either with Sam or with me. If you're a bit more like a perfectionist, then you're gonna be like, "Oh, Sam is right" and stuff. And if you're not a perfectionist, a very easygoing person, then you're gonna agree with me. The point is like, who do you identify with, and what good thing can you come out from that person? Because the importance is having a balance always.
Yeah, I hope you could take from this episode our advices, and then you find your own perfect imperfect balance, because that's very important.
Yeah. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you for giving us again the opportunity of being on your favorite platforms, and for giving us the opportunity of talking to you and maybe sharing a bit of wisdom that we have. Maybe it's just a bit, but at least what we know, and that we know that it can be useful for you, that we can share.
Yeah, or tiny wisdom that encourage you to think about something that's very important, can affect you mentally.
Exactly. And well, Sam is gonna share all the media.
As usual, you can find us everywhere at lovealadijonnaise podcast on Instagram, podcast platforms, Gmail, YouTube. And as we always say, we'll be back next week with another episode.
Thank you so much, guys. Keep enjoying your fall season and see you next week. Bye bye.